Hey guys, my name is Joanna, also known as Just Another Flutist here on YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about when I don't practice. The holiday hustle is real right now, which means that I'm not actually practicing very much at all. Very generally speaking, there are three big reasons why I don't practice. The first one being physical health. I have been sick enough times while needing to practice to know that I should really just put down the flute and not even touch it if I am about to get sick or if I am already sick. In terms of not touching the flute right before I get sick, it's just because that's how my body works. I would encourage you guys to observe how your body works. Adjust your practicing schedule when you know your body is about to take some sort of downhill turn. I know that my body will go downhill very, very quickly if I don't catch sicknesses early enough. It's either I get only a little bit sick and then I spend one day just resting, straight up sleeping through the day, just drinking lots of water, not doing any work whatsoever, basically ignoring life, focusing on getting well for one day, and then the next day I'm like better again. Or I get sick for like 2-3 weeks straight. I am not one of those people that only gets sick for 1 week. I envy people who are like that. My boyfriend is like that. In fact, he just got sick for a week and now he's better. When I am only sniffling like a little bit, it does make me feel a little guilty to not work because I feel like I'm making a huge deal out of just a few sniffles. I just kind of ignore that feeling of guilt and force myself to rest. Now, when I am actually sick, so when I'm actually sick for that like 2 to 4 weeks, I really don't touch the flute at all. As a woodwind player, when you breathe in, you are breathing in not through your nose, but through your throat. And when you breathe in through your throat, you're not filtering anything that's coming into your lungs. I find that breathing like that irritates my throat like crazy. Typically when I'm sick, I'm actually usually sick with a cough. The more I try to push myself to practice when I am coughing, the longer my sickness lasts. Let's say my sickness was only supposed to last for like 2.5 weeks. If I am practicing and forcing myself to practice during those 2.5 weeks, my sickness will stretch out to 4 or 5 weeks. I have had a cough that stretched out for almost 3 months. Looking back, especially now as a teacher and watching my students go through this kind of thing, honestly, I feel like if you just put down the flute for that like 2 to 3 weeks and then pick it up again after and brush up for like a week or so and then get back on your feet by the next month, that is still a shorter amount of time for recovery and getting back into the flute than pushing yourself to practice while you're sick. You actually can't develop tone during that time when you are sick because there is so much that is off and wrong about your throat and about your lungs and about how you breathe because you're not breathing at your normal capacity. You're very, very tired, so it's very difficult to concentrate on, your technique. When you are sick, you are more tired because your body is fighting itself. It's fighting off the germs, the virus, whatever it is that you have. It feels like you have to put 2 to 3 times as much more effort to get like 80% of what you would normally do and how you would normally play. So is it really worth it to practice a lot when you're sick? I don't think so. Honestly, I feel like you're wasting your time and you might as well just focus on recovering. The second big reason why I wouldn't practice is for mental health reasons. Here's the thing though, it differs from person to person. I know some people who the way that they deal with their mental health issues is by escaping into the practice room. The practicing and the music and the drilling does help them kind of hash out their feelings. I am not like that though. Some of you might not be like that either. I do know that some of you who watch these videos have not touched your instrument for a very long time. The biggest thing here, I think, is guilt. We feel guilty for not touching our instrument because we feel sad or we feel, just not up to it. It's a weird feeling of not wanting to touch your instrument at all, but still being really in love with the instrument. I think that's okay. In a way, I think that's kind of normal. You're not crazy. For some people, it's the opposite. If they love their instrument, they can't stop touching it. They can't stop playing it. They can't stop practicing it. But there are some of us who you love the instrument to death, you love music and you love to make music, but there's just some times that you just don't want to be near it at all. I literally just give myself days off. I just say from Monday to Wednesday, I am allowing myself to not even touch my flute. And it's when you allow yourself to not touch your flute, that's when you stop feeling guilty about it. And that's when you can really take that mental rest that you need. I just find that I'm in a much fresher mindset if I actually allow myself to not touch the flute for a few days. I ease myself back into the practicing routine. I actually give myself a few days of just playing around. So I'm not practicing. I'm procrastinating. I am figuring out tunes from my favorite film soundtracks, video game soundtracks. I'm just playing around with old concertos or old showpieces that I have good memories about, and I just play them and have fun with them. I might sight read something for fun that I've always wanted to play but never had a chance to practice. After a few days of just not practicing but playing around, that's when you start to feel like, wait a second, there is actually something that I want to work on. And then it's the days after that you start kind of reorganizing your time to figure out what it is you want to practice. I feel like doing it that way, one, it actually helps you rest mentally, and two, it gives you actual concrete goals of what you want to accomplish after you've played around for a bit with a fresh mindset. It is absolutely okay to love your instrument more than you love any other material thing, but at the same time not want to touch it for a few days. It's totally normal. The third big reason why I wouldn't practice is a little bit controversial, and I feel that you really have to decide where you put your priorities. I place relationships with the people closest to me, so like my boyfriend, my family, my best friends, at a very high priority level. It's higher than practicing. If I scheduled time to practice but they need me instead, I drop the flute. As much as I love the flute, I love these people more. I guess the way that I think of it is, what am I going to be thinking about on my deathbed? Am I going to be thinking about my accomplishments on the flute? Or am I going to be thinking about the people that I love most? And honestly, I feel that I will be thinking about the people that I love most. I will be thinking about my boyfriend, who will hopefully be my husband by that time. I'll be thinking about my family. I'll be thinking about my children. I'll be thinking about my grandchildren. I'll be thinking about my best friends. I'll be thinking about their kids, probably. Sure, it might be nice to have some flute music playing when I am passing, but truth be told, I don't think I will be thinking at all about any of my flute accomplishments, about any of my even business accomplishments. That's me though. I'm not saying that this is applicable to everyone, which is why I'm saying that you need to figure out what is most important to you. You need to find out where on your priority list the flute lies. I do think that a really great way to figure this out is by thinking about what you would be thinking about if you were dying. What a great happy way to end off 2017, right? I mean, I'm not practicing right now because I'm packing and wrapping presents for family, and I'm trying to figure out scheduling with my best friend. Honestly, these people are more important to me right now than my flute. I'm not saying that you guys should not practice, but what I'm saying is, if you really can't, for whatever reason, physical, mental, or to do with your relationships or anything like that, don't feel guilty. Life happens. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. I don't think I've ever brought this subject up on my channel before, but I have noticed that a lot of my students struggle with feeling guilty for not practicing. But the thing is, every time they don't practice for a very, very good reason. And it's really sad, I think, that they feel guilty. And I realize how widespread this guilt is. So I wanted to just kind of say something about it on here. I hope that helped you guys. I hope that was insightful. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about this. I would love to read it and kind of get a feel of how you guys feel about this too. And if you guys have experienced something similar, please share those stories as well. I'm sure that all of us can benefit from hearing that we're all really in the same boat together. Alright, so if you guys like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Saturday. My last video is over there, and if you want to catch me during the week, my social media networks are down there. But otherwise, I will see you guys in 2018. Bye. Did my eyelash just pop off? It might have. Anyway.